The Cessna Comet was the company's very first aircraft, making its first flight in 1917. This single-engine sport monoplane was built as a one-off design and marked Clyde Cessna's first step into aircraft manufacturing. Although only one was completed, it established the engineering direction that would eventually define the Cessna name. The Cessna Model A first flew in 1927 and became the company's first successful production aircraft, with around 70 examples built. This single-engine utility monoplane combined dependable performance with straightforward construction, helping transform Cessna from a small manufacturer into an established aircraft company serving civilian aviation. Next, the Cessna Model BW expanded the company's growing lineup of utility monoplanes. Only 13 examples were produced, making it one of Cessna's rarer early aircraft. Despite its limited production, the Model BW contributed valuable manufacturing experience as Cessna continued refining its all-metal and monoplane design philosophy. Now this is the Cessna DC-6, introduced in 1929 as another early utility monoplane during the rapid expansion of American general aviation. Designed for civilian flying, it reflected Cessna's continued focus on practical, dependable aircraft while incorporating gradual improvements in performance, reliability, and overall operating efficiency. Up next, the Cessna C-34 Airmaster. First flew in 1935 and quickly became one of the company's most refined pre-war aircraft. With 42 examples built, this single-engine utility monoplane featured an enclosed cabin, improved comfort, and stronger performance, representing the peak of Cessna's classic Airmaster family before World War II. The Cessna Model C-37 continued the company's development of practical light aircraft during the 1930s. 46 examples were built, making it one of Cessna's more successful pre-war utility designs. It offered dependable handling, an enclosed cabin, and improved everyday usability, appealing to private owners and commercial operators alike. The Cessna Model C-38 was a refined evolution of the company's growing utility aircraft family. 16 were produced, incorporating aerodynamic improvements and updated construction techniques over earlier models. Although built in relatively small numbers, the C-38 demonstrated Cessna's steady commitment to improving performance, efficiency, and pilot comfort. Now this is the Cessna Model C-39, another pre-war utility monoplane developed as Cessna continued refining its civilian aircraft lineup. Built for dependable personal and business transportation, it featured the company's proven design philosophy of simplicity, reliability, and efficient operation, characteristics that would define Cessna aircraft for decades. Next, the Cessna Model C-145 expanded the company's utility aircraft range with another practical single-engine monoplane. Designed for civilian flying, it reflected Cessna's continued emphasis on straightforward operation, durable construction, and economical performance. Although less widely known today, it contributed to the company's steadily growing reputation before the war. Up next, the Cessna Model C-165 represented one of the final developments in Cessna's pre-war utility aircraft series. Building upon earlier models, it offered improved capability while maintaining the dependable flying qualities customers expected. Its design helped bridge the gap between Cessna's early commercial aircraft and the more advanced models introduced after World War II. The Cessna CG-2 was an unpowered glider introduced during the early 1930s, making it one of the most unusual aircraft ever produced by the company. Built primarily to explore economical flight and pilot training, it demonstrated Cessna's willingness to experiment beyond powered aircraft, even though only a single example was completed. Next, the Cessna CR-1 was developed specifically for air racing, where speed and streamlined performance were the highest priorities. This sleek single-engine racing monoplane showcased advanced aerodynamic thinking for its era, helping Cessna gain valuable experience in high-performance aircraft design while promoting the company's engineering capabilities. Now this is the Cessna CR-2, an improved racing aircraft that continued Cessna's pursuit of greater speed and efficiency. Building on lessons learned from the CR-1, it featured refinements aimed at competitive air racing. Although produced in very limited numbers, it contributed to the company's growing expertise in aerodynamic development. Up next, the Cessna CR-3 represented the peak of the company's early racing aircraft program. Designed for maximum performance, it incorporated further aerodynamic refinements and lightweight construction to compete against the fastest aircraft of its time. The experience gained from the CR series later influenced improvements across Cessna's civilian aircraft lineup. The Cessna CW6 completed this chapter as a specialized utility monoplane developed during the company's early expansion years. Produced in relatively small numbers, it reflected Cessna's continued experimentation with different configurations and operational roles while maintaining the dependable engineering principles that were becoming synonymous with the Cessna brand. The Cessna 01 Bird Dog became one of the company's most famous military aircraft after its introduction in 1949. Designed as a dedicated observation airplane, it served extensively during the Korean and Vietnam Wars. Its excellent low-speed handling, short takeoff performance, and outstanding visibility made it ideal for reconnaissance, artillery spotting, and forward air control missions. Next, the Cessna T-50 was the company's first twin-engine production aircraft, first flying in 1939. Originally developed as a civilian transport, it became an important military trainer during World War II. Thousands of pilots learned multi-engine flying in the T-50, making it one of Cessna's most significant wartime contributions. Now this is the Cessna CH-1, the only helicopter ever placed into production by Cessna. First flown in 1953, it was developed as a single-engine utility helicopter with an emphasis on versatility and performance. Although production remained limited, the CH-1 demonstrated that Cessna was willing to expand beyond fixed-wing aircraft into rotary-wing aviation. Up next, the Cessna CH-4 followed as an experimental development intended to improve the company's helicopter program. Like its predecessor, it explored the potential of lightweight utility helicopters for civilian and government use. Despite its technical promise, the project never entered large-scale production as Cessna ultimately shifted its focus back to fixed-wing aircraft. The Cessna NGP, short for Next Generation Piston, represented a modern concept unveiled in 2006 to explore the future of single-engine general aviation. Although it remained a prototype, the aircraft introduced a contemporary cabin, advanced avionics, and modern aerodynamic styling, offering a glimpse into how Cessna envisioned the next evolution of personal aircraft. The Cessna 120 first flew in 1945 as an affordable two-seat light aircraft designed for private pilots returning after World War II. Its simple construction, conventional tailwheel landing gear, and dependable performance made it an economical entry into personal aviation, helping Cessna establish a strong presence in the growing civilian flying market. Next, the Cessna 140 built upon the success of the 120 by adding improved cabin features and standard wing flaps for better low-speed handling. Introduced in 1946, it quickly became one of Cessna's most popular early post-war trainers and personal aircraft, valued for its forgiving flight characteristics and reliable everyday operation. Now this is the Cessna 150, first flown in 1957 and destined to become one of the most successful training aircraft ever produced. More than 23,000 were built, making it a global standard for flight schools. Its predictable handling, economical operating costs, and straightforward maintenance earned it an enduring reputation among student pilots. Up next, the Cessna 152 entered service in 1977 as the direct successor to the 150. Featuring improved systems, greater useful load, and a more powerful engine, it retained the familiar handling qualities that instructors appreciated. The 152 remains one of the world's most widely used primary flight trainers and continues serving in flight schools today. The Cessna 160 was developed as a prototype utility aircraft intended to explore improvements in performance and efficiency beyond the company's existing light airplane lineup. Although it never reached full-scale production, the project contributed valuable engineering experience and reflected Cessna's continued effort to refine its general aviation aircraft during the post-war era. The Cessna 170 first flew in 1948 as a four-seat utility aircraft that bridged the gap between light trainers and larger family airplanes. Featuring an all-metal airframe and dependable performance, it quickly gained popularity with private owners. Its proven design later became the foundation for one of Cessna's most successful aircraft families. Next, the Cessna 172 Skyhawk entered service in 1955 and became the most produced aircraft in aviation history, with more than 44,000 built. Known for exceptional reliability, forgiving handling, and low operating costs, it has trained generations of pilots while serving as a trusted personal, business, and utility aircraft around the world. Now this is the Cessna 175 Skylark, introduced in 1958 as a more powerful development of the popular 172. Equipped with a higher performance engine, it offered improved climb and cruising capability while maintaining the stable handling characteristics pilots already trusted. The Skylark provided owners with greater performance without sacrificing everyday practicality. Up next, the Cessna 177 Cardinal debuted in 1967 with a completely modern approach to light aircraft design. Its cantilever wing eliminated traditional lift struts, improving visibility and aerodynamic efficiency. Combined with a spacious cabin and responsive handling, the Cardinal became one of Cessna's most distinctive four-seat aircraft. The Cessna 180 Skywagon first flew in 1952 and earned a reputation as one of the most capable utility aircraft ever produced. Designed for heavy loads and rugged operations, it excelled on short and unprepared airstrips. Bush pilots, commercial operators, and private owners relied on its durability, versatility, and outstanding backcountry performance. The Cessna 182 Skylane first flew in 1956 and quickly became one of the company's most versatile four-seat aircraft. Featuring a more powerful engine and greater payload than the 172, it offered improved climb performance, longer range, and excellent reliability. Today, it remains popular for personal flying, business travel, and utility operations worldwide. Next, the Cessna 162 Skycatcher was introduced in 2006 as a modern light sport aircraft aimed at new pilots and recreational flying. Designed with contemporary avionics, efficient operation, and simplified handling, it sought to provide an affordable entry into aviation. Although production ended early, it remains a distinctive chapter in Cessna's history. Now this is the Cessna 142, a prototype light utility aircraft developed as part of Cessna's continuing search for improved performance and efficiency. Although it never entered full production, the project allowed engineers to evaluate new design concepts that influenced later generations of the company's successful civilian aircraft. Up next, the Cessna EC-1 and EC-2 were experimental utility aircraft created to explore alternative design approaches during the company's early development years. Produced only in very small numbers, both aircraft served primarily as engineering testbeds, helping Cessna refine construction methods and operational characteristics before introducing more successful production models.